Good morning, my friends. Welcome to what is the third week of midweek devotions. Thank you for joining me here again this morning. It is a cloudy and rainy day here in New Jersey, and so it's a wonderful opportunity once again to curl up with some scripture, some word from God to start our day. So I appreciate you being here with me. This morning I'm going to be reading from 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verses 19 through 23. So hear the word of the Lord. Though I am free and belong to no man, I make myself a slave to everyone to win as many as possible. To the Jews I became like a Jew to win the Jews. To those under the law I became like one under the law, although I myself am not under the law, so as to win those under the law. To those not having the law, I became like one not having the law, though I am not free from God's law, but am under Christ's law, so as to win those not having the law. To the weak, I became weak to win the weak. I have become all things to all people, so that by all possible means I might save some. I do all of this for the sake of the gospel, that I may share in its blessings. I'm going to confess that of all Paul's words, I find these particular passages to be some of the most frustrating and disturbing ones in my life. I have never been a fan of these words until I looked at them a little bit differently. I have always been a people pleaser, and as a pastor of a church, that pressure to keep everyone happy even is ramped up a little bit higher because you have so many people that you'd like to keep happy. But the reality is that's actually not what these verses are about at all. These verses actually are about the many hats that each one of us will wear in our lifetime, depending on who you are and where you are and who you're with. Your hats will change. Each one of us, to some, are a daughter or a son. Perhaps we are a husband or a wife. Perhaps we are a mom or a dad. To others, we are co-workers or teachers. We are citizens. For some, we are leaders or perhaps even bosses. To others, we may be students. I know I myself in my lifetime have worn the hat of being a daughter, of being a sister, of being a mother and a wife. I have been at times a class parent back when my kids were little. I was a scout leader, both Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. I have served as a Sunday school teacher, as a women's group leader. I've been an educator to some and a pastor to many, and a friend to hopefully all. But ask those people in your lives who you are, and you'll get as many different answers. You can get dozens of answers depending on what aspect of your life they see you as. Perhaps you are the parent of a classmate's friend. Perhaps you're a neighbor. But there's one thing that ties all of these various aspects together, all of the different hats that we wear as we go throughout our day and go throughout our lives. And that one thing that ties all of those other aspects together is our faith in Jesus Christ. It's our belief that Jesus is God's Son sent into the world in order that God would show us how it is that we are called to live in ways that are pleasing to God, that ties all of these things together. Our faith dictates and informs the kind of people that we are at all times and in all places. And so, that is the one hat that we always wear, whether we're wearing our student hat or our parent hat or our daughter hat, or our hat of work, whatever that may be. No matter which hat we happen to be wearing at any given time, it's our hat of Christianity, of our faith in Jesus Christ, that we always wear everywhere we go. These verses are not about being a people pleaser. They're about being a Christ pleaser. And that informs the way we do all of these other things that we do in our lives. And so as a daughter, I'm going to be the kind of daughter that I believe God desires for me to be. As a pastor, I'm going to be the kind of pastor that I believe Christ has taught me to be. As a wife, I'm going to be the kind of wife that I believe my faith instructs me to be. And that doesn't always necessarily mean I'm keeping everyone happy. Sometimes it means doing things that my inner spirit tells me are pleasing to God. And it is God whom I please in all of these things that I do. And sometimes that means not just pleasing those we're in the midst of, but making sure that we live our lives honorably to the calling that Christ himself has called us to. Jesus, once you believe in him, calls you to travel, calls you to walk, calls you to be in ways that he himself has taught us to be. And that informs everything we do and everything we are in every circumstance, no matter who we're with or where we go. It is Christ who informs how we are to be. And so I invite you this day to take a look at those hats that you wear, and take a look at the way in which your Christ hat, your crown of Christ that you carry with you everywhere you go, is impacting the way you wear those other hats. Is it first and foremost in who you are and what it is you will do, how you will be, how you will behave, how you will treat others? Is it Christ who is instructing you in all of those things? And is it Christ whom you are trying to please this day and in everything that you do and say and are? So that's it, my friends. It is Wednesday. I pray you will have a blessed rest of your week. Thank you for joining me here, and you will see me again on Sunday as we celebrate Palm Sunday and worship, and then every Wednesday here with a brief time of scripture and some thoughts about that and some challenges for our week as we move ahead in time. So thanks for joining me. Have a great day. Bye.